Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and discuss gaming-related topics, offering both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by my co-hosts, the Nordic Cajun.
Troy looking.
Fuck.
It's Evo, okay? Leave me alone.
He's not wrong. The Eternal Barcode, Imi.
Hello, everybody. I am on a podcast tonight. Tonight it's going to be lots of fun, and there's other people who need to talk. I'll shut up now.
And from the cesspool that is the Emerald Dream, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
It is Glorpin time.
Not starting that again tonight. Stop.
Look, Glorbo is adding amazing
Glorbo
features to the
can
game that I
die
can't wait
in
to
a
see.
hole that doesn't exist, just like him. Now stop.
I still have to cut shorts out of that. That's hilarious.
Yet. It doesn't exist yet because knowing Blizzard.
Glorbo is coming to town.
So, episode 41. It's not what it looks like. Imi, you want to take it from here as far as our Trevor project and everything?
Absolutely. I had my mouth full of Triscuit, so I had to eject the cookie or the cracker. So by hanging around, watching ads, donating bits, subs, donations to anything like that, you are supporting the Trevor Project. We also have a donate to charity button instead of a subscribe button, so you can donate directly to the Trevor Project as well. And the mission of the Trevor Project is to end suicide among gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning young people. And just a quick reminder, this is an opinion show and does not reflect the official company views, policies, or whatever else. So in other words, we're poor, don't sue us, you ain't getting much.
Hey, when you said you ejected that Triscuit, you spat it out, right?
You just made me do it again.
Bleh.
That.
So would you refer to that as a limp Triscuit?
No. Think of it more like the Triscuit is on my tongue, is in my mouth, and my tongue sticks out like a tray, and you're just picking up the Triscuit like a CD.
I was gonna say. Did you get my reference?
Nope, I'm now eating my Triscuit. Stop making me talk.
Does anybody want to tell him the reference?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on what he does it for.
I mean, I figured Limp Biscuit, but I don't know.
Yes.
That it? Okay. Making sure I wasn't too old.
He did it all, and it wasn't for the cookie. It was in fact a biscuit.
God damn it.
What?
Leaves show.
Oh no. Anyway, welcome to the UDP broadcast.
Indeed. So we got three good things on the docket here. We will start off with some of Imi's favorite things, which is legalese. So let's talk about Bauldurs Gate 3. EULA prohibits deals with certain objects. So
That's
go ahead.
No, you can start us off, but I just love I love EULAs that have all kinds of weird shit thrown in them.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's not their first time doing it. I think that during the early access, it did something else. It's somewhere else in this article. I'll look that up after I read. After you get through all the legalese, if you ever pay attention to legalese, no, I don't pay attention to it. So obviously, I owe like 6 kidneys somewhere to some corporation. But yeah.
Well, see the in the EULA, the Section 5 additional obligations in Eldritch Law. Time for a pause. As we understand by now, your mind is longing for respite, having endured the above numerous provisions of legal jargon. So, setting aside the weighty tomes of somber legality, embracing a lighter path of ancient customs and mythical decrees that govern the fair folk, please be wary that in accepting this pact, you agree to refrain from striking a deal with another creature or of fey, infernal, or otherwise eldritch origin. Should you nonetheless not be able to withstand the seductive melody whispered by their malevolent terms, we reserve the right to sever all ties, professional or social, with the end user and seek appropriate remedy from the Morning Lord. That's literally in Article 5, in Section 5 of the EULA. It is absolutely amazing.
Literally just put it in there because they know nobody's going to read it but you.
So there was a number of years ago, a company, I don't remember who it was, but they basically had in their EULA a section that said, if you have read to this point, send us a letter saying whatever, and we will send you a check for like $10.
Wow.
And like 30
I thought it
years
was.
go by.
I thought it was 1,000. There was
No,
one that had
it
1,000
was
in there.
it was not much. It was like a couple bucks, but years go by, like 30 years go by in this stupid game, and then finally someone's like, holy shit.
$10,
So they're
$10.
They're like, oh my god. So, oh my god. And actually, I just pulled up a list of 8 really funny end user license agreements. Apparently, Section 57 of the Amazon Web Services Terms and Services. I'm actually going to Control F 57.10, and that doesn't exist anymore. This is old then. There was a section AWS's Terms of Service that said, however, this restriction may not or will not apply in the event of the occurrence certified by the United States Centers for Disease Control or successor body of a widespread viral infection transmitted via bite or contact with bodily fluids that cause human corpses to reanimate and seek to consume living human flesh, blood, brain, or nerve tissue, and is likely to result in the fall of organized civilization.
You know who wrote that? You know who probably wrote that?
Who?
Arthas.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, well,
that would
apparently,
be a good, yes.
The Lich King.
apparently they last updated their terms in 2023 in August 4th, actually, so yesterday. So I guess that zombie clause is no longer there. The iTunes end user license agreement mentions that nobody from a U.S. embargo country or certain lists can use the software. However, there's a much more dramatic clause that closes out that section that says, you also agree that you will not use these products for any purpose prohibited by the United States law, including without limitation the development, design, manufacture, or production of nuclear, missile, or chemical or biological weapons. Now, you might think that thing is a little bit odd. I've actually seen that in a lot of end user license agreements, and it's usually related to products that have the ability to control something because they don't want you to, manipulate their software into controlling like a centrifuge or something. It's all right. I need a rum.
No worries.
Chase the Kraken.
So I am actually. We're going on a Kraken hunt. So in 2010, the UK Game Store GameStation had a very entertaining terms and conditions on their website. We reserve the right to serve such notice in 6-foot-high letters of fire. However, we can accept no liability for any loss or damage caused by such an act. If you A, do not believe you have an immortal soul, B, have already given it to another party, or C, do not wish to grant us such a license, please click the link below to nullify this subclause and proceed with the transaction. Apparently, only 12% of people actually read that and then clicked the part to not give them a license.
Wow.
Whoop.
Boo.
There's been a lot of stuff like that. As far as like making fun of that, I think South Park did an episode with the human eye centipede.
You mean
That
centipede?
there's some no, he said it right.
The human eye centipede. Apparently, Apple put into their end user license agreement that you would be willing to submit to being part of a project that did something similar to the human centipede, where it was pretty much ass to mouth across multiple people, and they made fun of it the whole thing. Like the guy in front was just like, "Oh, you want me to eat gefilte fish? No, don't eat it." You hear the people in the back with their mouth, like their face sewed shut to their anus, like, "Oh, you want me to eat it? I'm hungry." Like it was bad.
It's
It was
very disturbing. And the sad thing is, the first time I saw that was actually on a TikTok. Wasn't even the actual show. I just saw this. I'm like, I forgot this show exists for a split second, and they had to remind me this way.
Yeah, I need to be more careful and start reading some of those so I don't end up in it's going to be very unusual if I end up in a situation like that. But still, I can just imagine that, like the repo men show up at my door, just, "Oh, what's up?"
Where is it? Where is it? Where's the doc? Come on.
Yeah,
Come on, Raina.
We're waiting, Raina. The FBI.
Wait,
knock.
what?
Wait on the door knock. Where you at?
Oh, I'm sorry. See,
Kid
now
ass,
I
I'm
can't do it because you're expecting it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. See, we opened the door for her, and she still doesn't knock. It's amazing.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Lumi was
I'm
droning on
sorry.
again, so I wasn't paying attention. So
Oh, so you were talking about the free money? So I
yes.
was thinking one thing. You were thinking about a different thing there, Nordic. So this company called PC, or the company that produces software, PC Pit Stop.
Oh, I used that at one point, way back in the day.
Back in 2005, they had the following section in their end user license agreement that says special consideration. A special consideration, which may include financial compensation, will be awarded to a limited number of authorized licensees. To read this section of the license agreement and contact Pitstop at consideration@pcpitstop.com. This offer can be withdrawn at any time, and apparently it took 4 months and over 3,000 downloads before someone wrote in about that, and they were awarded $1,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew I had read
Far
about that
Cry
somewhere.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon had a morality clause. It's not permitted to blah 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 to use it contrary to morality or the laws in force. That section is no longer in the end user license agreement because I just checked it, which is sad. Oh wait, of course EULA is. Oh yeah. No, that's sad. It's not there anymore.
Sad boys.
Yeah. I like software that has really ridiculous end user license agreements. Apparently Hulu has a really funny one.
oh,
We may need to make changes to these terms from time to time for many reasons. It goes on to say you should look at these terms regularly, and continues. Any material changes to these terms will be effective automatically 30 days after the revised terms are first posted, or for users who register or otherwise provide opt-in consent during this 30-day period at the time of registration or consent as applicable. I have seen stuff like that before. Basically, what that means is just refresh that end user license agreement page from time to time so you're not caught off guard. But yeah, there's some really funny ones and also some really weird ones out there. I always enjoy looking at them.
I mean, everybody needs their hobbies, and I know you're the one that will sit there and read every single piece of that article, and I commend you for that kind of patience. I really do.
There was someone who basically was complaining about what the hell was it? There was some software. I just commented about it. Oh yeah,
LimeWire?
Grammarly.
oh, Grammarly.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week, but
yeah, we did.
Grammarly,
Paid autocorrect.
yeah, like so Grammarly, if you're not familiar, will read your text that you're writing, and then it'll go ahead and check it for grammar and spelling, whatnot. But they've always had in their end user license agreement that they will read your content and like the content you're typing, obviously, because it needs to be able to see if there's grammar mistakes. But they also explicitly say that they are going to use your content that you've written to train their AI model. Somebody on Twitter freaked out saying, "Oh my God, they just announced it." And I'm like, no, this ain't new. Like, this has been around for a while. But, with all these funny end user license agreements and whatnot, it just goes to remind you that you do need to read these things and the privacy policies, because just by simply clicking yes, 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 or next, 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 what is it? Next, next, finish, usually, like, you're just setting yourself up for all kinds of trouble if you aren't reading those things, especially when it comes to your personal information and your privacy. Some companies are like, yeah, if you accept the software, we're going to sell everything. And it's like, oh well, maybe I don't want to install it.
No doubt. You remember that one thing that I sent you? It was like the creative EULA reading. It was like, I think one of the ones I sent you was you had a car that you had to drive through the end user license agreement, and somewhere in the middle, like a train comes through, and you have to wait for the train to go by.
Oh, right. Yeah, that stupid thing. Oh my god. Wasn't that a whole game?
I think so. Like there was a whole bunch where people got it was a challenge where people got to create ways that people to get people to read the end user license agreements or something like that, or make it annoying. I can't remember what it is. But I remember going, man, this would be right up Imy's alley. He would totally get a kick out of this, and I didn't know how much of it you actually went through. I think I found it on Twitter.
I think so. Tumblr has a funny clause in theirs.
Do they?
Yeah, and I just checked it to verify that it's still there, and it is. You have to be the minimum age to use Tumblr. We're serious. It's a hard rule. Quote, but I'm like, almost old enough? No.
No.
Nope. Sorry. If you're not old enough, don't use Tumblr. Ask your parents for a PlayStation 4 or try books. That is legit on tumblr.com/policy/en/terms-of-service. As of today's date, whatever that is, 5 August 2023.
Well, dang.
I don't know how much further we can really drive this EULA conversation, but there was something else to add to that, and that was in the article that we found from Polygon. It was saying that it's not the first time they've done something like this with the interesting entries into EULAs, but it says that back in 2020, when Bauldurs Gate 3 first launched, the EULA laid out terms for an additional quest to submit to Larian, which is the developer, one recording of a chant, song, text, poem, or interpretive dance performed by you and or extolling your interest in the Forgotten Realms. So,
Oh no.
nothing ever really came of that just yet, but I think it'd be interesting if they start like releasing stuff on their social media platform of the stuff that people have submitted that have actually read this, which I think would be cool. Be quite honest, I love it when I see fan-made stuff or other people, and it gets real creative. Like even some Victa's meme of the day.
Yeah.
Like those are really great. So
Apparently there is a character. I won't, because the article does spoil it. But I won't say who. Apparently there is a character in Baldur's Gate 3 who did not heed the warning about making a deal with non-legal people, and ends up with a literal devil on their back.
Oh,
So you will eventually bump into that person. Like I said, I won't reveal the name because it is a minor spoiler. But
Yeah.
if you find them, you will understand if you listen to this podcast that they decided to make a pact with someone they shouldn't have, and sucks to suck.
And now he has a roommate for life.
Yep.
Indeed. Well, in other news, if we want to push on, apparently Tekken 8 had a closed network test not too long ago, and a streamer got into trouble. I believe the streamer.
Wow.
What was that, Cajun?
Let's say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so, indeed. Well, I'm going to say it is so. So they had their closed network beta, and this is in reference to the incident with, trying to get the name here. I think it was like Joe Power or something like that.
Joe Mama.
Joe, Joe Wish. So apparently the lead guy or director of Tekken 8, his name is Katsuhiro Harada, showed up to Joe's stream after the closed network test was done and gave him a little bit of razz. It was like, hey, cracker. And of course, like the chat was just they erupted at that because cracker is a term for it's a racist term, but he was intentionally meaning it as a hello software cracker, not hello whip cracker.
But the internet can't tell the difference.
Well, he
No.
says hello cracker, so
Well,
when you
all-
start a conversation off to a white guy, hello cracker, it can go either way.
it's Japan. They don't care. He was just
Well,
like,
there's a language barrier. We'll go with that.
yeah, pretty much. So he's like, "Hello, Cracker," and it was this whole ensuing thing. PC Gamer has like the VOD and link and whatnot, but uh, the streamer was like, "I don't believe it's you." Like the chat was razzing him and whatnot, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to exercise my power? Check your Twitter." And so they checked the Twitter, and the Twitter said, "Stop it or ban forever," because Harada believed that Joe was in the closed network test illegally. It would via cracks, like the crack software, and
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So and that's a problem whenever you start releasing closed network or closed anything is the fact that once you have your binaries out there, people are going to tear it apart. Right? There are professional data miners out there. Have you guys had any experience or have like had a game that you were anticipating or whatnot and watching feverishly as the players tore apart patches as they were applied to your favorite game?
Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6. Like there were so many people who found this patch for the closed beta and continued to train on Street Fighter 6 while we were waiting for the game to come out. And I know Capcom came out and like banged on their chests is like if this is discovered on your computer or discovered any way, shape, or form, your account will be permabanned on the network. And I'm just sitting there like, I hope that comes true because I want to see these guys get the book thrown at them completely for a closed beta hack that shouldn't be existing. And I haven't heard anything else come of it, but it was a huge thing for a while because the biggest meme was people posting pictures of just this any kind of people staring at the screen, and the Capcom. I mean, the subtitle was staring at these people's combos since the closed beta has been closed for months on day one, and it erupted for. That's why Capcom had to step in because they knew people were basically cheating. They were basically getting ready to go to ranked and make people's lives miserable. This is completely biased on me because I that happens a lot in terms of fighting games. But yes, I've heard, and I have not conquered, but have witnessed. I've bore witness.
Oh, good stuff. And being WoW players, Amy and Crit Chicken, I'm pretty sure that you have seen all kinds of stuff come out where a new patch comes out and somebody's like, "So I went through the binaries and I found these things." And
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, data mining.
data mining, yeah. So and this it's just a problem. Like the moment you have your binaries out there, be sure your binaries are real tight. Otherwise, people are going to tear it apart. One of the YouTubers that I watch sometimes because I love the Dark Souls series or the Souls series, I should say. I wish I had the platform to play Demon Souls. I'd really love to try that. But between Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro, I really want to play Bloodborne and things like that. There's a YouTuber by the name of Zuli the Witch who um, they don't talk about it. It's all in text and whatnot, and it's very visually stunning. Talks about um, all the interesting things that they find inside of the memory space as the game is loaded to tell the story of what the game doesn't tell you inside of the game. Like if you know anything about the Souls series, it doesn't tell you the story. It doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't go, "Stay a while and listen." No, you get
Greetings,
to
heroes.
yes, no, it's all in context of the descriptions on the items, the experiences that you have in the game, and you build this story as you play it.
Now,
And
you forgot one big detail. The story shows you that nice, beautiful intro. You take 3 steps in, take a left, and this giant monster bites your head off.
oh
That's
yeah,
Dark Souls
Oh,
in a nutshell.
Tree Sentinel, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Crit?
no, I'm just saying. Oh,
Oh, okay. So but back to the story that we have going on here. Dude freaks out. I was like, "Oh man, it is Harada crap." No, dude, this is not a crack. Like we're playing legit closed network test. Like this is not it. Harada had deleted it and was like, "Don't worry about it." Let's see, what was the exact words that he put because he deleted his or permanent or ban comment that said, Um, oh gosh, I lost it. Sucks. Preferring instead to say, "Don't worry about the ban." That was fun. Thanks. So apparently he had a laugh too because he realized that Joe wasn't hacking. It was just closed network test was done. So once Joe had actually logged out, he wasn't able to log back in. So as long as you remained logged in into the closed network test, it didn't kick you out. So there was no forced log out, which was, but I think the problem was, and he realized that. So
Yeah, that's kind of dumb that, you wouldn't get all the facts and realize that, oh, hey, maybe this guy just didn't log out and was kind of wondering, maybe you can stay logged in for a while.
well,
Because I know, like, when Overwatch 1 server shut down, people stayed in the lobby right up until the servers went offline and everyone got disconnected. So, why he wouldn't double check to maybe see that, oh, this is simply a case of dude just hanging around in the lobby or just hanging out in the servers until he gets physically kicked out because the server's DC. Like, people are very quick to judge without having all the facts, unfortunately. As this proves quite, unfortunately, handily. Get to all the facts before you get cranky, bastards.
All I heard was a poor man's versions of the Overlord theme. And
Yeah.
just log it in until the very last second, and then trying to log out, and I'm stuck. Love it. Anime in real life, boys and girls.
Kind of like when your character continuously has that falling through the earth loop thing. And
Mhm.
wow.
just realized I was on mute. That sucks.
That's not fun.
Yeah, no, I was like commenting and whatnot, and so there's probably gonna be a blank spot where nobody says anything.
Rip.
Yeah, rip.
Yeah,
That's
Don't
fine.
worry, we are
doing it live,
professionals.
baby.
We are professionals. So, but
We know exactly what we're doing at all times. No, they don't.
all I know is I found some Oreos, and I'm perfectly thrilled to find Oreos.
Yay,
kind of Oreos?
Just Oh no, it's just double stuff, but not frozen. I wish it was frozen. Frozen Oreos are just tits. I love frozen Oreos. Anyway, so yeah, everything turned out fine. Dude's not in trouble. No ban. Yay! Harada was just like, haha, just kidding. I figured out what's going on. Yeah, Pog Oreos indeed, banana tune. Other than that, I'm actually looking forward to this particular conversation because this should tickle the Nord senses.
Tingling.
Palworld. See?
Oh my.
So
It could be a fun game.
before the podcast, I went ahead and I linked all the trailers and whatnot to kind of give context to what Palworld is. Barcode Chicken, did you go and look at those to see what we're getting ourselves into?
No.
No.
I'm not that smart, sir.
Okay. Well, Palworld. If I were to sum it up in a few words on how they're presenting it, it is a catch-em-all factory survival Pokemon type game. Is that about as
But-
accurate as I can get?
Almost. It's Pokemon, and for the IMEs in the world meets RimWorld.
Oh no.
You basically you play the game and you capture these things like Pokemon, but then you put them to work in your base to make things better for your output. But if you don't take care of the Palmon, they can actually die. Like I think the description was, the civilization was built on the tall pile of dead Palmon behind me. That's pretty much when I saw. I was like,
So
I'm
it's a
just gonna go.
Tamagotchi game?
No.
Pokemon.
You literally go. It's an open world. You go around and actually find the creatures, fight them, and capture them. Except for just fighting them with other monsters, you can fight them with guns.
So let me tickle the barcode census here. So when we say fight the Pokemon, we're not talking about like, oh, Pikachu, use Thunderclap or whatever the fuck it is he uses, because I'm not a Pokemon player.
Thunderclap. His
You-
cheeks were too big.
Use Cheeks Clap, but yeah. So
Hey, Batman.
Hey,
God
Batman.
damn it.
I got a Pokemon Batman. But anyway, so no, it's not just about
Check, please.
fighting them. You actually get to fight them. It's not proxied through some animal that you have tortured to train, but um, you have an arsenal of weapons at your disposal. You have melee weapons. You have firearms. You have bows and arrows and things like that. And you do damage, and you use pals to help you, and your pals can also have other like firearms and things like that. Some of the footage that they showed in the trailer was like a squirrel riding on your head, firing at the same thing that you are as you're sliding down a mountain on a snowboard.
Huh.
Like, so it to me it feels very Dark Soulsy because it's in that weird third person setup. So you've got a lot of the real time dodging and things like that as things approach you. But it looks really cool. Some of the footage in there, I'm surprised that if you haven't looked at it, like there was a set where it shows a bunch of sheep behind miniguns, like blowing away the impending like stampede of nasty hog creatures that are coming your way while you're also like doing supportive fire with them. Like, it's crazy. Dude took a penguin out of his pocket, stuffed it in a rocket launcher, and launched it at a tower, and it exploded.
I cannot
mean,
wait to
that
play
is
this
what one
damn
does.
game.
One does do that with a penguin.
But the reason why this article was even written is because the latest trailer talking about catching or making the most of your pals. Let me see here. What was the actual name of it? Because I linked it inside of backstage chat. Using pals efficiently, and they were going through. I was like, yeah. So because before that they did how to catch pals. They were like, yeah. So on top of like catching them, you're going to need to build a base, and there's your base of operations, there's survival elements, and you can use your pals to build. So what you do is you go out, and you catch a pal, you put it to work. Then you catch a pal, you do it to work, put it to work. You can, and he does this like 4 times. And he goes, "Hey, why aren't you working?" And then it cuts over. It's like, so yes, you can overwork your pals, and you don't want to do that. So be sure to take care of them. And as he's panning out, there's this like giant pile of corpses of dead pals before it
Oh
cuts
my.
out. Like this is
Very, very, very barcode-like. Yes.
Well, here's my problem with the whole thing right now is the fact that it looks so good it can't be real. Right? Like I know that they're saying January
No.
2024. I am waiting for the other shoe to drop. I want to know how they're going to pay for all of this innovation.
We need closed beta keys, please. We need them now so we can test the fire out of this thing so it is good when it comes out in January. Please.
Dear Pocket Pair, we
I'm
will do
saying-
exclusive streams on your beta.
I am saying.
Thank you, Lumi and Nord.
I will call in sick that day if you give me a beta key. Signed, your buddy, the Nord.
Three beta keys because we gotta get Nito in on that action.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
ooh.
Because I think we're all Poke Pals on different platforms now. I just need to get
Mhm.
Pokemon home.
And just their designs, like, it's not like there's been plenty of Pokemon ripoffs, let's be fair. There've been plenty of games that are just like, yeah, it's Pokemon with a different coat of paint on it. The character design is 100% Pokemon-esque. But the fact that those freaking sheep came out with miniguns, Lumi, I have never been happier in my entire life.
Oh, and like they pull out the surprises every bit of the way. The more recent trailer from I believe TGS, they had like you riding in a sled being pulled by pals, by dogs, and then sprinkled in there in all of these trailers.
Dashing
They
through
had-
the snow,
Yeah.
one horse open sleigh,
They-
going to kill we go.
It would cut to
laughing
this
all the way.
darker scene where you had like these nefarious people and pals being tied down to like experiment tables and things like that. You also saw like the music dropped whenever it went to like pals working in the mines and whatnot, like for slave labor. And that's just a feeling. I don't know what was going on because it's completely out of context, and I'm just going by the musical feels of what they're doing.
Well, every game needs a Team Rocket, so that's probably what that is.
Maybe, or maybe that's the player.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
Because the latest
we
trailer
could
was
be
like,
the evil. We could be the evil overlord of these poor things. Oh no.
you could. I'm really wondering how open this game is going to be. And I'm not saying open world. I can give two shits less about open world. You can wipe your ass with the words open world. But being able to set up defenses, build your base. They had a dinosaur, and it was like panning down, and it was like shouldering two sets of missile launchers, and just decimating like landscapes. Like it's gonna be something interesting. But again, I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop. I want to know what the catch is. I want to know if this is like a free-to-play game, and they're just going to suck all the money out of you. Which, at this particular point, if you listen to me and Nord, we're going to give them all of our money. But
Take all my money. I want miniguns with my goats.
yeah.
If you want miniguns with a goat, it's called
Goat Simulator, I know.
well, that and Goat of Duty.
Yeah, isn't that a part of Goat Simulator?
Nope, separate game altogether.
Really?
Same studio, Coffee Stain.
I don't remember actually. Let me check my Steam library.
Goat
'Cause I do
of
own
Duty.
that game.
Why is
Speaking
that
of,
called Call of Goaty? No, that's bad.
well,
No.
I need to get back into Satisfactory. Apparently, they've gone through like 3 updates since the last time I played. So last time I played, I think it was update 5, and they did 6, 7. I think they're on 8 right now. And I want to play Satisfactory. Go ahead.
So the Goat of Duty is developed by 34 Big Things SRL and published by Razor Games. Razor Games. But raising as in like RAISE, as in raising something up in the air. I have played it. You could basically say it is Goat Simulator, but with a first-person slant to it, and it is, oh my god, fun. It is ridiculously dumb. Too much fun. And yeah, it's like $14 Canadian.
So kind of like that Gotham Imposters. You remember that?
No.
So somebody took the time to make a Gotham Imposters game that was a tongue-in-cheek take on Call of Duty.
Hmm.
So you got to play as like villains and sidekicks and whatnot inside of a Call of Duty type arena. Except it was an interesting concept. You remember that Cajun?
It sounds like Cities of Heroes or Cities of Villains.
No, that's an MMO. This look up. Hold on. Let me see what that name of that thing was. Now I gotta look. I know it's probably defunct now, kind of like Frozen Synapse. I believe Total Biscuit covered it at one point, and that's how I was turned on to it.
That's how I found many of my games back in the day was WTF is. I
Oh,
can English.
dude, if there was anything that Total Biscuit did right, it was bringing awareness to shit games.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think I insist on an FOV slider on
Because
pretty much any first-person game? What's
because
that?
he said it about every single game he
Oh,
played.
fuck yes. And
That was his number one
he was right
complaint.
to bitch about it, too.
I loved it every time.
Dude, you know, it'd be like 2015 and no FOV slider. What the shit?
Gotham Imposter. Yeah, Gotham City Imposters was the name of the game. It was released in 2012. So back in the wee days when I was still just a black screen and text. So it's not even available for sale on Steam anymore. But it was a thing that existed. And a lot of people flocked to it, and it was mostly on the word of Total Biscuit. So, yeah, Palworld, that's going to be a super thing. I'm looking forward to it, and I think as soon as we can get our hands on it, Cajun, we should totally do something with it.
Now the $1,000,000 question is, Lumi.
Yes.
You knew I was going to ask this question. The question is, will there be shinies?
Will there be I hope so.
There has to be some kind of variant out there that you can hunt down because if you really want to keep your game and you really want to get people addicted, put some rare shit in there that sparkles. And
It doesn't
we
even
will be there
sparkle.
looking.
Some of the shinies you've caught have had the most terrible colors. It was just different color than the normal one. It was like, oh, I could have this banana-shaped one, but now it's brown.
stares at the 8 Bidoof sitting in my inventory.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
hated that hunt so good. But then I caught a whooper, and it's pretty pink, so I
Yeah.
made up for it.
Some shinies are just the shitty legendaries in Diablo. Like, that's really what it is. So, I don't know. But
It's like, I have a banana, and now it's a rotten one. It's super shiny.
that's right. I can make this has evolved into banana bread if I catch enough of them.
That's right. Banana loaf, let's go.
Yeah. Other than that, I think we've exhausted all the topics. This week has been a shit news week. Like it's all been all about Baldur's Gate 3. So like if anybody listening to this in the future ever wants a how-to guide on Baldur's Gate 3, do come by the Discord server. We aggregate all the news across 7 different platforms. And just look up how to or just Baldur's Gate 3 and you'll be flooded with everything from how to scratch your ass to how to complete quests. So
I do have a small topic we can end the show on if you want to.
sure, go for it.
It's in regards to the game Killer Instinct. For those of y'all who out there have never heard it before, Killer Instinct came out. The original one came out on the Super Nintendo, I believe. Yes, it was the original one, Super Nintendo. I
It was
believe
an arcade game before it ever hit Super Nintendo, but go ahead.
that's true. You know as much as I do. Then, um, and then 2 came out. I believe that was in Nintendo 64.
I think
And then it was silent for a long time. Like you didn't hear anything about Killer Instinct for a while, up until let me look at the date 2013, when they came out with a full blown Killer Instinct for the PC, Xbox, all the platforms. Full on fighting game. Started with 8 characters. It was a it was it was promoted and headed by Maximilian Dude, one of like the epitomic like top of the fighting game community names. And he helped promote it, he helped with the design work, and it became increasingly more popular as time went on, to the point where I think they capped out at like 26 characters in their roster. And then it, like most fighting games, it got to a point where the devs just couldn't fund any more growth on it, because it's just that's how fighting games go. However, they made such a good game, and it was so loved by the fans, that the fans themselves continue to play the game online constantly. They continue to do online and offline tournaments constantly over the past 10 years. I said all this to say, here at Evo this year, Evo is a tournament that happens every year. It's one of the 2 big fighting game tournaments of the year. You got Evo, and then you got the Capcom Cup Finals, mostly just for Street Fighter. But Evo is where all the fighting games show up. You have your Blaze Blues, you have your Guilty Gears, you have your Marvel's Capcoms, and this year they had a big announcement for Killer Instinct. After 10 years of nothing from the devs, the creators and Maximilian himself came out with an announcement video saying the devs are coming back to upgrade everything in the game, from the online compatibility to crossplay to quality of life patches, and I believe even more content to come in terms of more playable characters and the like. This is an example of how, if you do a game right and you do a thing that people are passionate about, you could come back at any time and release stuff for it, and people will be ready to throw down. 10 years this game has been non-developed, and people have still been playing it. And the developers are coming back to show appreciation to the fans by busting their butt to bring this game to a 2023 standard in terms of online play and quality of life. I think that was probably, to me, one of the best announcements I've seen in Evo so far in the past couple of years.
well,
And
go ahead.
that was it.
Oh, well, Killer Instinct by itself like defined a whole generation of fighting game
Hmm.
players. Like you had your Street Fighter. Street Fighters just existed. Street Fighter 2, okay. Like Street Fighter defined how to play all of your fighting games. Everything from low, mid, high, punches and kicks, and blocking just being just simply holding back,
Hmm.
right? Killer Instinct took it to a whole new level with combos and whatnot. I remember perfecting the 80 plus hit combo with Orchid.
Ultra.
Yeah. And that was like including like the finisher and whatnot. Their finishers weren't anything like Mortal Kombat, where it's like, you do something weird like twist their nipples off and feed it to their eyeballs or anything like that.
Well, it's funny you said
Um,
nipples because I think the girl you just said, her finisher was her opening up her top and just shocking the other person.
yeah, well, it was opening up the top, but it was like facing away from the camera, so there
Yeah,
was
you couldn't see anything. They had to get away
so
with it somehow.
there was no boobas.
No.
Well, not that we could see. But I mean, aside from that, like their ultra finisher was like this ridiculous combo, and you could continue to juggle them. I think you could do the same thing with Glacius, but
Mhm.
it defined a whole generation of combo fighting
Oh
game
yeah.
players, and I'm actually glad to hear that that's a thing. I'm surprised that they didn't continue pushing with their current offering that they have out right now because they microtransaction the whole thing out.
That is true because that's what turned me off to it. It was the first game, which is what I'm kind of afraid of for Project L. Project L is Riot Games fighting game coming out in a little while. They've been showing clips of it on Evo all weekend, and it's going to be a free to play game. I think just like Killer Instinct. So I'm afraid they're going to do like they do in like League of Legends and all the other games where you have to buy the champions and buy the characters to play. That was the one thing that big turned me off to Killer Instinct because you were only able to play with like one or two characters. You would have to purchase all the other ones. That was the only thing to me that they did wrong, but the gameplay was so much
Oh,
fun.
it was nice. It really was. I was able to get like an ultimate edition of it, so I got like a crap ton of characters with it. I mean, even Mortal Kombat's in that same vein where it's like, yeah, hey, check it out. Like they really have an interesting microtransaction scheme. Like you could do one button finishers that cost money, as
Hmm.
opposed to like entering in your magic code that is ridiculous to do to like tear off their toenails. It gets well, I mean, and that's just it, right? That's how they're monetizing those type of games, and I wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that with their Project L as well. Even
I mean,
Killer
if they have a
Instinct.
solid, if they had a solid roster like any other fighting game that comes out first, maybe I'd say 8 to 10 champions from League available at release. I'll be fine. At that point, they'll be just like Killer Street Fighter, where every character that comes out you have to buy. Like Rashid just came out this past week, and you have to purchase him in game if you want to play him. But with Street Fighter, you can earn in game currency to purchase things, or you can just pay the dollars and do it. Um, I'm okay with that kind of setup. But if they do like they did with Killer Instinct and only have like one or two champions available at get go and you have to buy the rest, I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. However, they have some of the biggest names of gaming behind Project L, so I think they're probably already thinking of that. So I'm not too worried. Um, that being the only thing that really turned me off to Killer Instinct, I hope that model dies. That kind of model just goes away.
I don't know. Right now, as it stands, there's only a few large games names in the fighting game scene. One is Street Fighter, two is Smash Brothers, three is Tekken,
Dra-
and
Dragon Ball Fighters is really big still.
yeah, I guess so.
It's in the
Soul
same.
Calibur.
Soul Calibur's getting there, but they haven't had a new game in a minute, so they're kind of in a dead zone. Everybody's getting hyped about Tekken 8 right now, though. That's the big game coming out after now that 6 is out.
Well,
It's a
there's
good it's a good day to be a fighting game fan. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, this would be a great time to bring back that one game that was for PlayStation 1. I think they actually had an iteration for PlayStation 2. But it had to deal with turning into animals as like brutal fury or something like that.
Bloody Roar, Bloody
Bloody
Roar.
Roar, Bloody
That was
Roar.
such a good fighting game. I love that
I
game,
would love to see that as a revival. I really would.
dude. To literally go ape or go werewolf in the middle of a match and then just rip somebody's face off. It was such a good concept.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, I would
Bring in
love.
kittens and be like, murder paws,
yes.
That's Darkstalkers.
murder mitten.
Oh, why haven't we heard much about Darkstalkers? You had to bring that up. That was such a great game.
They literally
because
went by Felicia.
Yeah.
oh my
Same thing
But
with Soul Calibur.
Well, the main reason we haven't seen a new Darkstalkers is because Capcom's good at what they do, but they're also terrible at what they do. They're great at when a game comes out and they put all their eggs in one basket, like they've done with Street Fighter 6, and they put their whole budget behind it. They can make a great game. Street Fighter 6 is by far their best game they've made since Street Fighter 3. I'll go ahead and say it. But when it comes to all their other IP, um, they're not. If they released a conglomeration of all the old games back in the day to test the waters to see if people would buy it, and that's what they gauge their bias on, and if they're going to actually put their money into making a new Darkstalkers. That collection didn't sell well because it was like people were still butthurt about Street Fighter 5, so they weren't really trusting in Capcom at the time. Because for a long time, Street Fighter 5 was terrible. It was such a bad game. So they had lost a lot of street cred with the fans. But when you look online and people ask for, and you hear people talk about Darkstalkers, it's just like Killer Instinct in terms of cult classic. It was literally one of the only games I had on my PSP. Let that sink in. It
Back
was
in my day when
it
Game
was
Boys weren't enough, the PSP,
yes,
yes.
it was the only game I played, and I loved it. The character designs, the animations, the story, all of it was amazing.
Sure, you played it for the story. Plot armor.
I
Well,
played Jada. Thank you very much. I did not
we're
play
not even
I did not play Morgan.
we're not going to get into the Rule 34 variant of Darkstalkers.
Because
Nope.
there's plenty of it. But the mechanics was really good. Um, n- but Capcom's really bad at reading their audience when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like they would come out with a actual brand new Darkstalkers, people would they would literally throw gobs of money because there's such a strong fan base for it. But Capcom can't see the forest for the trees when it comes to that kind of stuff. They want to go with what works, like Street Fighter 6 and the occasional remake of or collections of old fighting games. They don't want to remake any other IP and let it be a big risk. Which I guess on a corporate standpoint that makes sense. But at the same time as the fans are like, "Fuck you, we want our Darkstalkers."
Yeah,
So
well, when you're talking about investing millions and millions of dollars into an IP to bring it up to speed, like I can see where that comes into, but then again, like
it's not
the,
slowing Microsoft down for
it,
bringing back Killer Instinct.
uh,
I don't know. I guess Capcom just sometimes just after everything that went down with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and everything, it just I don't know. There's always I think I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm always when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm always like Mulder from X Files. I want to believe. I want to believe we'll have a new Darkstalkers one day. I hope one day we'll have a new Marvel vs. Capcom once Capcom and Marvel make nice and make the mouse play nice. It just
I'm in the house MD part of that belief, which is everybody lies. So,
yeah.
but yeah, so we started late. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up, Cajun, and see
Okay.
what's going on.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, unless you had a thought to complete.
Nope. Go play fighting games.
I would like to go do the clickety clack, please. All right, Cajun, tell us what's going on this week.
This week, last week we started playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion. It's a fan-based game where you literally just take any two Pokemon and merge them together, fusion style, and make brand new Pokemon. And we were having a lot of fun, especially when I found out that there's a whole bunch of meme characters and anime characters you can make with different Pokemon, um, including the giant ass dragon from One Piece, Kaido. We actually made Kaido, and we were hyped and we were ready for more. So we're probably going to do that a little bit this week. I might throw in some more shiny hunting, but right now I'm really invested in the storyline for Infinite and the more fusions that we can do. So it's probably just going to be a fusion week this week if I had to predict anything.
Gotcha. I'm going to try to make myself available for Wednesday for at least Core Keeper to keep that going. I know it's
That
been
sounds
like a
good.
month,
It's been a
But
minute.
it's been a minute, but I like between AC breaking and whatnot, like it's been kind of rough. And I've been going hard in like the migration project. But anyway, uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, so you've got that going on. Potentially us Wednesday.
Yeah, jolly cooperation
Jolly, all the cooperation from one or the other or both.
at the same time.
With both hands. Amy, Crit, what have you got going on this week?
Just working, and I'll probably continue on watching the on patrol stuff, I guess.
Did you collect your 4 free tiers in Diablo 4 yet?
No.
Do you have Prime Gaming?
Yes.
Then you should go collect that. I
Oh, is
did.
for this week only?
I think it's for a while, but I went ahead and I collected it because 4 free season tiers is 4 free season tiers, and I'm already like 50 season tiers in.
Oh.
I might do that.
Yep. I'm also doing it with like not only the rogue, but also a hardcore necro because why not?
Fair enough, sir.
But when you die, that goes away.
Well, the season is across all characters in the seasonal realm, so it doesn't really matter. And then, of course, whatever you collect goes back to the eternal realm before the next season starts. So,
I see.
yep. No, like I'm like 50 in, and I think there's like 90 tier levels or something like that. I want to get them all, and I'm doing it with 2 characters, so that makes me happy. One hardcore, one not. Oh, and the cold iron stuff looks dope as hell, by the way. It's worth it.
Nice. I'll have to check that out, definitely.
Hmm. So,
Nice.
work, potential Diablo 4. I mean, what do you got going on this week? You gonna do any streaming? You gonna
No, voice is still busted, as it always is.
Gotcha.
I don't recommend you break your voice. That's a terrible idea.
Ooh! I have an idea. Hey,
Yes.
hey, Cajun.
That me, what up?
So, what do you say that we bring in IME, like if it's multiplayer, the shenanigans that is Palworld, along with the crit chicken?
I am all for that.
Like we'll have to do it on a day that is not like their D&D days, like on a Friday or a Monday or something. If you can negotiate with the panda,
I'll just sacrifice one of my other nights to do it. I am 100% invested in Palmon. Listen to me.
but
Palworld.
Palmon, Pokeworld.
Yes, Pokeworld, Pal. Yes, all the rims.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Amy? Are you willing to do slave labor with animals?
I mean, have you met me?
Fair.
I mean, yes, I have.
And we got to get Raina in there too. I'm pretty sure that
FBI, open up.
I'm pretty sure the crit chicken will be more than happy to collect her own flock of chickens to build her base of doom. So.
Yes, it will be quite the pecking order.
Oh my goodness! I can
Yes.
imagine rolling up on Crit Chicken's fortress, and there's nothing but chickens with miniguns.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just like she's got like penguin missile launchers.
Bang,
and
bang, it's a cock with a Glock.
That's right, cock with a Glock.
God. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. That was gold. She's going to be walking up with her cock piece ready to rock.
Yeah. I think next week is my on-call week. I think if it is, there won't be a podcast that Saturday, so do plan accordingly. If you want to like use that as an extra stream night, Cajun, I do so. But I need to make sure I'm available for that, so I won't be able to stream the podcast. But we'll resume the following weekend.
Ooh, that's interesting. A special Saturday night party.
Yeah, no, like any night that we're not able to do that, man, that's like a free night for you because you've already got it cleared. You can do what you want.
Yeah, because the missus actually has to work next weekend because she switched for my competition, so she'll be in bed early that night. So that could be a thing.
Yep. And we still need. Go ahead.
Also, I have to do the workout regimen.
I will be working on that for you. Yes.
The crit chicken games. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. So, like, I need to do the same thing. I just downloaded Pokemon Go, so that means I have to like move my fat ass down the street and back.
Yeah, we're probably going to start her off slow. Either probably 3 weeks of light, 3 weeks, 3 days of light. Do you have? Are you going to a gym right now, or what's your
No,
current
I'm
situation?
home home gym right now a little bit, just keeping it simple with the free weights and the
Get her some
maybe
power
some
blocks.
Okay.
either that or long distance walking.
Okay. I'll plan accordingly with that. Cool.
Or using body weight, I guess, would be sufficient.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had a membership to Planet Fitness Black for like 3 years. Only been there twice, and it was like I
Oof.
bought it like just before the COVID stuff. So it's just like, well, what do you do? And I just haven't
Planet
been since.
Planet Pizza and Toe Jam.
Yeah, Planet Pizza and Toe Jam. Like, but yeah, no, I need to go there. Like that, their treadmills are awesome. I like the vibe there, honestly.
Get it.
Get it. Speaking of get it, we got to get gone. So,
Get her, got her.
those of you at home, we will see you for episode 42, whenever that may be. We're migrating all of our podcast material to a new channel, youtube.com @UDP Broadcast for exclusive podcast content. All the collaboration and gaming content will still remain with Luminary Weekly. And again, across all IPs that I currently manage, 10% of all revenue will go to the Trevor Project. So good stuff. I've got a nice large cache ready to go, and I'm waiting for December to roll it around as a Christmas gift. So it'll be kind of nice.
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Yep. Nope. Have a great week, and we'll see you on. Hold on. What is 2 weeks from now? Yeah, this is live, so this is not scripted. This is me getting lost in the dates. Potentially the 19th. We'll keep you updated. Follow me on Twitter for further updates.
Woohoo!
Just look
So
what you guys
long,
did that.
chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Later.
Bye.